And I will bury Kamala Harris with facts and things that she did that will open your eyes. And this absolutely, everybody out there knows, has zero to do with race or gender. I don't care if she's a female. I don't care if she's an African-American. I don't care what she is. She's a terrible politician. She's not for the people, that's for sure. Hey, everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a great video for you today. Yes, I have to comment on President Joe Biden exiting the race against Donald Trump for this November. No, I am not a political show by any means, but a lot of people ask me, what do I think? What's going to happen? You know, they ask for a lot of good advice on this show, or at least my thoughts on this kind of stuff. So let me go and tell you what my thoughts are. First of all, if anybody doesn't know, today, Sunday, usually a slow news day, actually, President Joe Biden said he's out of the race. He's not going to run for a second term, which I think is a very smart move, to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the 5 reasons why I believe that. And the big question is, who's going to run in his place? That, to me, is the biggest question we're going to be dealing with today and for a long time. First of all, you know, obviously the number one reason somebody like this would get out of race. Listen, President Biden has been in public service for 50 years, 50 plus years, within the Senate, vice president, president. He's been in public service for over 50 years. Think of that. First of all, I don't think public service should be for 50 years. I really don't. I don't think public service should be for more than 8 years. I think one person should serve and get out. I believe in term limits. I think that's a big problem we're having with this country right now. That's my opinion. But at Joe Biden's age, 81 years old, I think it was time to go. If anybody out there says he wasn't slipping, if anybody out there says, oh, he's sharp as a tack, then I don't know what you're watching. And I listen, I wish that man all the best. In fact, I really feel bad for that guy. And I mean that with all my heart. Obviously, a smart guy, did a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things he did I didn't like. But it's not that. I was rooting for him as my president. But he cannot run for a second term. There's more to the presidency than, you know, partying in a turkey on Thanksgiving or giving pardons or doing a little bullshit. There's a lot we don't know that goes behind the scenes. Who's calling what world affairs? You got to be sharp. You got to be sharp. I think there should be an age limit. And at what age? I think Donald Trump's too old. But I think Donald Trump is a lot sharper than President Biden. So, listen, why did he leave? The first reason he left is because he's too old. He can't do the job. Obviously, at 81 years old, you know, you just don't have it, man. Trust me, guys. A lot of you guys are a lot younger than me. And a lot of my audience, you know, they say, Larry, you in great shape. You're right, I am. I'm in decent shape. I'm pretty sharp. But I can honestly sit here and say that I can feel little differences, little things that I'm not going. I can't repair for workouts. I can't do, even mentally, I forget a little bit more. And that's just, I'm 62. I'm not 81. You know, 82 when this happens or whatever it is. That's just crazy, guys. And people should see that. And I'm glad some people in his camp told him, hey, listen. And he had a lot of people. He had President Obama. He had Nancy Pelosi. He had a lot of the leaders of the House. He had George Clooney, mega donors that won't, you know, do that. So I agree that. So he was getting a lot of pressure, you know, Joe Biden, from Democratic leaders to move on. And they're all about survival. They all want to win. But, you know, winning is good, but not winning at all costs. Because if you had to lie about his health or something else, I think that's a big scam on the American people. I think everybody should know, just like I think everybody should know your financials. I think President Trump, former President Trump, should show his financials. What's wrong? Every American has to do it in taxes. Why not? I want to know if he's beholden to anybody. So I'm not going there, but that's not about this. This is about Joe Biden leaving office. So he totally did that. I think they're going to have funding issues. A lot of big donors in the Democratic Party said, "Hey, I ain't giving money." And when I'm talking big donors, people spend millions of dollars. Ever since Citizens United, which was a Supreme Court case that was passed, I think, 8 years ago, you can give untold amounts of money to a PAC or something like that, and big deal. It used to be like that. You couldn't do that. Too many people had too much political sway over the system. Well, Citizens United really just slommed that, made it just a money game. Being it's a money game, guys, you got to raise it. We got 4 months, less than 4 months to the election. You got August, September, October, all those 3 months, and a few more. So under 4 months to the election in November. And they start spending. I'm sick and tired of the spending already. I'm sick and tired of opening my mailbox and getting a ton of stuff from the Republican Party, from the Democratic Party, Libertarian Party. I get it because I am a libertarian, and I don't think the other two know what I am. But that's quite all right as well. So I also think, looking at a lot of data and stuff I'm looking at, is his electability is not good. They're doing a lot of polls. Now, these people are professionals. Do I think Robert Kennedy is going to win? No,
Robert Kennedy
not a
will
chance.
Now receive Secret Service
Do I wish he would? Yeah, to be honest, I think he's the best out of all three of them.
This comes after Trump.
So I do think there's a problem right there we got right now. You are looking at a party that's in such disarray. I don't know what they're doing, and I don't think the president who's been took hold of this. And sadly, the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, hasn't did anything. She really hasn't. She hasn't did anything to the border. She hasn't did it. What has she done for the United States people? I mean, she's not definitely not an active vice president. I just watched the movie it's called Vice, and it's about Dick Cheney, who was the president under George Bush. Now that dude, trust me, that dude right there, that dude, man, he ran the shit. I mean, he was a smart guy. I don't think for a second Dick Cheney was a dumb guy. So he was a smart guy. And he ended up pretty much running the presidency almost. But listen, watch the movie. It's called Vice. So those are big things. And the last one, I think this is the one that changed Joe Biden's mind. And I think they caught him on a good day, if you want to call it that. Listen, protect your legacy. Whatever legacy you have, you don't want to go in and have the last 4 years of your term be you're out of it. You can't walk. You fall. You stumble. You stutter. You can't interact with people. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of people around him and a lot of people around our whole leaders that can run stuff. I really do. Who was running it? You hear all these conspiracy theory stuff. I don't buy it. I don't care about it really. I don't have time for it. But I totally believe that he wants to protect his legacy. Now, people say, what do you mean his legacy? What has he done? Listen, Joe Biden's done some stuff. I mean, you could call it what you want. You could call jobs being made. You could call later in the presidency. I don't like some of the things he's done. I think most things should have been about getting people jobs down, getting cost of groceries down. Trust me, people, I go to the grocery store, man. I don't have people that do that. And I will tell you what, groceries are expensive, man. It blows me away to see the price of eggs at $6 a dozen. My mother gets his bread for 4 slices. It's 8 slices. Too little, it's this bread. It's $5.89. It's something she likes. I don't know, but I get it for her because she's 91. And I don't want to do anything to make changes to that, if you understand what I mean in that regard. So I totally understand, but he has a legacy of something. Listen, Joe Biden went through a lot with his sons. Hunter Biden getting convicted, his other son, Beau, dying. This guy's been through a lot in the public eye, and we all watched it, and we all saw it. And if you don't have empathy for people, then that I get. Then you got some disconnect. But I feel sorry for him. I wish they did it a little different. I'll get into that in a minute here. So if I believe that, and I really do, who do I think is going to take over? The Democratic Party. Joe Biden endorsed Kamala Harris as vice president. pretty much the only thing to do. But the first thing anybody's going to say is, like, he's out of his mind. Whoever he endorses, who do you want? And I don't mean that to be even funny. That's exactly what's going to happen. I will say this, though. I don't like Kamala Harris for a lot of reasons. Kamala Harris, in my mind, is probably the worst politicians I know. And the reason being is that lady, when she was the Attorney General of California, she ruined lives. She knew of people innocent through DNA and didn't let them out for political reasons. I mean, I got to do a whole thing if this lady's the nominee on this. A lot of people are talking about Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan, the governor of Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. I've seen her. She's pretty good at all these guys. I do not like Gavin Newsom, California governor. He screwed that state up pretty good. Now, listen, you could talk the way you want. You could yell at me. You could say I didn't do it right. You could say a lot of things, but I don't know about that, people. I am telling you that to me is he's unbelievably another bad politician, which just breaks my heart. It really does, guys, because I used to be into politics a lot. And then, everybody, you have Pete Buttigieg. Who's Pete Buttigieg? Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary for the Biden administration. He used to be a mayor in a small town in Indiana. Now, is he ready for the presidency? Has he done anything with transportation? Are we having the Boeing crap? Are we having all this stuff? I don't see what he's done that shows him as a great politician. Is he loyal to Biden? Yes, but sometimes you got to stand up to people, even in your own party or in your own cabinet, and say, listen, we got to do this right. People are dying and people are in fear. And our infrastructure and airports suck. Our infrastructure and bridges suck. I mean, you go to a lot of countries, and I've been to other countries, people, and they blow us away. And we're America. So it really kind of pisses me off in that regard. So I think, personally, a ticket with Kamala Harris or any of these people is a dead ticket. Who I don't know will be president. Let me just say what I think Donald Trump should have done, but he didn't do. Donald Trump should have came out and said, I hear that President Biden just exited the presidential race. I wish him all the best in the world. I wish him a speedy recovery or as best he can do and be comfort in his later years. But he still hasn't done nothing. Were you better off 4 years ago than you are today? Obviously, with COVID, there's a whole thing. But even the Republicans can make a case for things being cheaper, from gas to groceries to everything, less world conflict. There's a lot of things you could say, hey, win this race without disparaging people. Win this race without name calling. Win this race like an adult and say, listen, I can bring more to the table than anybody else. And I have the backing of most people. And as you can see, he has a very, very live and very active following of people. Believe me, they are diehards. And I think that's good. Listen, when the assassination attempt happened, I was so worried about this country. Nobody wants to see anybody get killed. I was live on that for that. And I think it's just crazy now what's going on in our country. I had to talk about what Biden is. Biden is done. So let's face that, everybody. Biden is done. He's done for those 5 reasons I said. His age, his fundraising ability, his electability, his demand by everybody in the world asking for his, don't run, and his legacy. But let me tell you how they could stop all of this crap. What they did with the Biden thing. And this goes to both parties. And I hope people take this and I hope they repost what I'm going to say. What both parties could do is not just take the sitting president and not putting up anybody to run against that guy in a serious fashion. I think politics can be fixed in a lot of ways, and it has to do with money. If the Democratic Party is in charge, which they are, whoever the president is, nobody goes up against him with a serious campaign and says, I want to, fight the president. Because if anybody did, they would have beat him. because people knew what was going on. Now, that goes for the Republican Party, too. Whoever goes up, they should get a formidable challenger so the people could say, hey, my party, we did this in 4 years. He didn't do the job. I don't want him again, but I'm a Democrat, or I'm a Republican, or I'm a Libertarian. I want my guy, but I want the right guy. So I don't understand politics. It's really gotten into the caves, and it's gotten it all about money, money, money. And I'm not going to get into that. I just want to let everybody know, yes, Joe Biden is out. Who's coming in? I'm going to do a video on that, and I will bury Kamala Harris with facts and things that she did that will open your eyes. And this absolutely, everybody out there knows, has zero to do with race or gender. I don't care if she's a female. I don't care if she's an African-American. I don't care what she is. She's a terrible politician. She's not for the people, that's for sure. And I'd love to look deeper into her record, and I hope they do. I don't know who's going to be president. If it's Gavin Newsom, somebody said to me, Larry, it's going to be Harris Newsom ticket. Are you kidding me? What a gob! Unbelievable what people are saying in this country. We can't get people to run for presidency in this country. It blows me away. But I'm not going to talk forever on that. I want you to let me know what you think is going to happen. Who do you think? Put it in the comments. I'm going to be answering this one, guys. Have a great day. Please stay safe, man. And I will see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.